So, question for you today. When did the programming kick in for you? Chances are when you were a kid, you had this fantastic imagination and you could dream about all of the possibilities for your life. You could dream about all the different jobs you could have, the adventures you could go on, the exploring you could do, all of the wonderful things that you could experience, the money that you could enjoy and that you could use to help other people, the homes you could build, the gifts you could give. You used to daydream about it. You used to frolic and play and use your imagination, and you were really free. You were totally, completely free in your mind and your heart and your soul because you were connected to your inner being, and your inner being knows infinite possibility. It knows expanded, infinite consciousness. It knows everything, everywhere, all the time. And you were plugged into that. You were tuned in, tapped in, turned on to infinite possibility, right? But somewhere along the line, at some point in time, after being told repeatedly to stop daydreaming, after being, told how it is, or to face reality, to look at reality, see what's real, see what's in front of you, you got sucked in to the reality loop. And then you just kept repeating that cycle over and over and over forever. So what is your reality cycle? You wake up, this is your routine, you go to this job, you come home, this is your routine, you go to bed, repeat the next day, repeat the next day. It's enough. It's just enough. It's enough to put some food on your table. It's enough to have a roof over your head. It's enough to survive. And even though you might not be surviving in the way that our ancestors had to survive, maybe you're not surviving by getting your food day by day in the forest, or having to rebuild your hut every single day when you travel the plains. Maybe you're not surviving in that sense, but you're just getting by. You're just doing what you have to do to make it through another day at your shit job with your crap, boring routine, with no joy and very little appreciation in your life. And it's just stuck in that loop of boring routine and just a cycle of sameness all the time, every day. But it doesn't have to be that way, because our life is like a nautilus shell. You know, the shell, the nautilus shell, that when you look at it, it's got the big opening on the end, and then it circles and circles and circles and circles until in the middle it's very tiny, right? And so we start off big and expansive, and then as we go deeper and deeper into ourselves, we just keep learning and growing and learning and growing and learning and growing. And that's happening no matter what. So no matter if you've bought into a reality that is, this is the way it is, this is the way it has to be, go work for the man, go make the man rich, and, just go home and be satisfied with that. Whether that's what you're circling over and over and over again, or whether you're going deeper and deeper and deeper within all the time and learning more and more and more about yourself, we're all doing the same thing. It's just whether we buy into the reality that's told to us, or we choose to create a reality. And the reality that we choose to create isn't going to be the same for everybody. The dream life of one person isn't the dream life of the next. It's not all about wealth, financial wealth, but it's always about abundance. Abundance of joy, abundance of communication, abundance of relationship, abundance of value with one another. It's always about abundance, but not always about money. And what gets us stuck in that reality loop is self-doubt, shame, embarrassment, disappointment, frustration. It didn't work for me, so I'm never going to try again. Or I failed, so I'm going to stop trying that. And that's not what that nautilus shell's about, right? That's not the sacred geometry. That's not what it's about. It's about, oops, it failed that time. Let me try it this way. Oh, failed that way. Let me try it this way. And I don't remember the quote. I'm terrible with specifics. I'm a generalist. But I remember that Einstein talked about this, and he said, I failed 1,000 times. I fail every single day. I fail over and over and over again. And if I just stopped because I failed, I never would have experienced anything that I have, learned in my life now. Everything is because I just kept trying. I just kept trying in a different way. So when we have self-doubt or insecurity, frustration, or fear, when all of those kinds of emotions get in our way, or we feel like everyone around us is beating us down, because they might be. Because who we surround ourselves with is going to dictate what our reality looks like, right? And so we have to choose to break free of it. We have to choose to see the self-doubt, acknowledge it, feel through it, and then be like, why am I doubting me? I am infinitely powerful. I can do anything in my life. I can have or do or be anything that I want. Why am I doubting that? I came from God. I am a little piece of God. Like, God's a big loaf of sourdough bread, and you're a little pinched off piece of that, right? That's just a silly metaphor. But you are all powerful. And you know in your heart and your soul what you're capable of and what you're here for. You only know what you're here for. And so I'm never about fixing anybody or changing them or repairing them, because I know that we're all exactly who we're meant to be. It's just that sometimes the windshield gets so covered in mud, we can't see it anymore. And we lose track of who we're supposed to be. And we just get in line with the robots and we just act like them, because it's the easiest thing to do, right? It's the path of least resistance for our human body, but it is not the path of least resistance for our soul. And so I want you to think about that today. When did you lose that childlike knowing that you could be who you were meant to be, and that you were unique and special and perfect in every way? When did you lose that? And when did you buy into the self-doubt and let the frustration and the failure stop you from being who you were meant to be? Because you came here to be who you were meant to be. And if you don't follow through on that, there's always going to be an underlying sense of frustration or dissatisfaction or maybe even anger. So think about that. When did that happen for you? And how are you going to take those next moments of self-doubt, frustration, anger, disappointment, and how are you going to turn that around to help you move deeper into your inner being to be who you're fully meant to be? I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for being part of my community. If you have some hearts for me, if you love being here, thank you. If you don't, just unfollow me. Bye. Have a great day.